betting on yourself and moving your wife, 2 kids, 2 dogs, 600 miles across the country for the opportunity to be a part of something bigger is no small feat. Ken, I'm really excited to have this conversation with you today. Welcome to the Active Life Podcast.
Thanks, man. Let's dig in.
So give me a little bit of your story. I have the advantage of knowing you from when we worked together at a previous facility, but let's assume that nobody knows anything about you. How did you get into the industry? Like, where'd you grow up? How'd this all start? How'd you get in?
Yeah, so I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, big town about 45 minutes southwest of Chicago. Went to college at Illinois State. My plan actually at the time was to be a police officer. Graduated and moved with my mom and dad to Angola, Indiana when they retired and bought a house on a lake. So, at the time I had no wife, no kids, no dogs or anything, and no bills to pay. So I thought it'd be fun to live on a lake. Yep. So getting into the criminal justice field, I wanted to get a job where I could, and I started working as a probation officer, which was my grown-up job, I guess. While I was working as a probation officer, I started working for you part-time at the CrossFit gym that you and Seth owned in Angola, Indiana. It was I had one of those enlightening moments when I was at my job at a probation officer, and I had a moment when I knew that I was right and everybody else around me was wrong, and they were so stuck in the clouds that they couldn't see it. And I can remember that day when I was like, I can't do this forever. I need to change something. And what had happened was I was 25 years old, and they had figured out that if I worked at this job for 30 years, I could retire at 55 years old. I didn't love the job. It was a paycheck. It was something to do. And they were all so excited for me that all you need to do is work another 30 years and you can retire. And I looked at them like they had 3 heads. Like, I don't want to do this for 30 years. Yeah. And then I had a vision of the next 30 years of my life of what it looked like. And I was like, this isn't it. And about that same time, you guys needed a full-time coach at the CrossFit gym. And I was fortunate enough to be offered that position. And that's when I took the dive into, I'm going to make this the thing, and I'm going to go all in and quit my real job and start working at a gym.
I love that. Yeah, man, those moments can be so powerful when you're confronted with, and you take the opportunity to just sit with the potential future and reality of like, yeah, I could do this. I could be here for another 30 years, but I don't want to be.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, man. So, all right, you're coaching at a CrossFit gym. What happens next? I'm imagining like you start some personal training, you're running group classes. What does that look like? How do you bridge the gap from, all right, I'm a CrossFit coach to I'm moving to Long Beach, New York to work at Active Life's flagship facility?
Yeah. Man, when you say it like that. Well, I was working full-time, and when I started, I didn't have any kids. And I had, I'm missing the timeline. I think I had just gotten married, no kids yet, not a lot of bills to pay in Angola, Indiana. It was pretty cheap. And, I liked the coaching, and I wanted more. I don't know how to explain it. I knew there was something bigger. I just didn't know what it was at the time. And, I had our first kid, and life was great, and paying for daycare. Anybody that has kids knows what paying for daycare looks like. And we were getting by, and then we had a second kid, and daycare bills kept coming in. And I kind of saw the future of, man, what does this look like? I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck for the rest of my life. Because I care more about my wife and my kids than anything else in the world, and I want to be able to provide for them. So I was like, all right, I love fitness. I need to find a way to make this the thing and to not just get by. I don't want to just get by. I want to take my wife and kids on vacation. I want to be able to, get them a new Nintendo Switch for Christmas. I want to be able to do the things. And so I started looking at how do I start building the life that I want to live? And that's when I started switching more from doing CrossFit classes to doing more one-on-one personal training. And I saw that as the avenue to do it because I still love doing that. I wanted to take the best training that I could find to learn how to do one-on-ones at the highest level. So I put myself through Active Life Professional, and that was, I'm losing track of years, I think August of 23 I started that, and finished like July of 24.
Wow, that's quick.
Yeah, so I did it a little less than 12 months. I think it's programmed as a 13-month curriculum.
Yep.
Yeah, but I got it done. And so that led me to, I knew I wanted to do more personal trainings, and I was going back and forth about how I wanted to do that, either stay at the CrossFit gym I was at and do personal trainings there, or start my own personal training facility somewhere else, flip-flopping back and forth. And I had reached out to you and asked what you thought. And the intensive came up as an opportunity to come and shadow and to see what you guys did at the highest level. So I was like, well, if I want to do this at the highest level, I need to see how it's done. And I came out here, and the first time walking through the Flagship, it was a literal mind-blown moment. Everything was so pristine. Everything had a place. Everything was so well thought out. I was like, God, this is awesome. I want it. And part of me said, man, I want to come here. Just walking through it, just seeing how well you guys do your stuff. And that was the day of the intensive. My plan for the weekend was to see how you did it, take what I learned back to Angola or Michigan, open up my own place, and go from there. Well, while I was
here comes a monkey wrench,
dude. I got wined and dined by Mr. Cody. You can be very persuasive, I'll say. Took me out to the nicest place in town to eat, a couple of glasses of wine, and the next day, walking on the boardwalk, and you and I had the conversation of what does it look like if you come out here, and it was a big decision. Yeah. And like we had talked about, it wasn't just me. It wasn't like me packing up my bags. I owned a home. I had my wife. I had my 2 small kids. It's a lot to consider. I mean, that's a big move.
Yeah. I remember the moment as we were walking down the boardwalk and we're talking about what it could look like for you to open your own facility. And like the thought that kept coming to my mind was, this sounds like a great idea. If you kept saying, I want to open a facility like this. I want to open something like Active Life. And I was like, man, if you really want to do that, and I believe that you do, you should probably work in one first.
Do you remember the analogy you used?
No.
If you want to open a Michelin star restaurant, you should probably work at a Michelin star restaurant first.
Man, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Yeah, you came up with that on the spot. Nice job.
Cool.
And it worked.
It did.
I was like, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you go back, you have the conversation with your wife, and it was pretty quick after you, I think you got back to me within a week, and you're like, we're doing it. We're going. How long did it take you to get here?
What do you mean?
Like from the time that you made the decision to when you were here, it wasn't very long. It was more than a few weeks, but it was like 6-8 weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah, you told me you moved out in 6 weeks after saying yes, so I made it my goal to move out in 5.5 weeks, and that's exactly what I did.
Nice, attaboy. I didn't know that part.
Yeah,
I like that for you.
Yep.
Good job.
I wanted to get out. I knew what I wanted. Let's find a way to get it done and do it.
Yeah. Well, was there anything about the previous environment or the system that wasn't working for you in the way that you wanted it to work that led to you being like, you know what, I want to move 600 miles away. I want to come to Long Beach.
Yeah, it was a difference between, it was really who I wanted to work with, my clientele. My ideal clientele, and I think my mom and dad have a lot to do with that. They both started working out. My dad was 70 when he started working out. My mom was 66. My mom lost 40 plus pounds. My dad lost some weight, gained a lot of muscle, and they're both still kicking. And like that's who I want to work with. It's fun. Not that there's anything wrong with getting a stud CrossFit athlete to snatch 225. That's cool too. Just not what I'm inspired by. So I knew the clientele I wanted to work with. I knew the group class just wasn't inspiring me the way that it had in the past. And there were people that slipped through the cracks. I remember at the CrossFit gym, there was a member that was coming to my class, and I used to tell people, the story in my head was, if I get someone to come to my class 5 days a week and eat well most of the time, then you're going to add 20 years to your life. And that was the story. And I remember a guy came in and he talked to me and he wanted to quit after about 2 months. And I asked why. And he said, you know what? I just don't like CrossFit. I just don't like this. This isn't for me. It's not what I want to do. And I remember like not understanding what it meant the first time I heard that. Like, what do you mean you don't? Like, just keep coming and you'll get it. But it's, and I couldn't zoom out and see that he didn't want that. So instead of trying to make him fit the mold that we had, I should have went out of my way to help him and meet him where he was at. And that's where active life speaks to me.
Oh man, that's a really profound moment too. I've had some of those throughout my career as well, but you're confronted with, okay, does this methodology, does this ideology inspire me in such a way that it helps the person that I want to really pour my time, effort, and energy into?
Exactly.
I love that.
And now I get the clients that I love working with. Now it's on my client list is just a roster of awesome people.
Yeah.
I love it. It's fun.
I love that for you. Is there a recent win or story from one of those clients that you can think of that stands out to you that you're especially proud of?
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple. One, I have a client that has Parkinson's, and her thing was she had a very, very hard time getting up and down off the ground. Few sessions in, I think we're 20 sessions in now, we just had her getting all the way up, all the way down by herself.
Wow.
And it's so cool to see where she started to where she's at now, and that's what it's all about. We have another client that she was in a car accident like 20 years ago, and she got whiplash in her neck. She had shooting neck pain down her neck, down her left shoulder, all the way down her side, and a little bit in the right side too. Been to physical therapy, been to specialists, seen everybody that she can see, and she still has the same shooting pain. Came in with us about 6 sessions in, shooting pain's gone.
Wow.
And now when she started day one, I remember the consultation, I asked her to hold up a 2.5 pound weight. And she's a little person, little client.
Yeah.
2.5 pound weight, and she was terrified of it. She wanted nothing to do with it. She was afraid she was going to hurt herself. So if you can just imagine a client that someone comes in, 2.5 pounds, scares her to death, and she's afraid of hurting herself worse, afraid of what could happen. And then this week, we had her doing a kettlebell deadlift with 44 pounds for 15, something like that.
3 sets of 15.
3 sets of 15.
Yeah.
And she did it no problem. She could have gone more.
Yeah.
And she has a son in Florida. When she goes in Florida, now those two work out together whenever she goes down there. So, like, from point A to point B, it's completely different person. And just watching that journey happen is awesome.
That's beautiful. I remember watching her do this, and I'm like, holy crap. She's lifting that right now, and she just, like a tank, she just powered through it.
Yeah. Yeah, such a big difference.
That's cool. So you had a bunch of options, right? You could have taken some information. You already had the knowledge, gone through the education. You could have started your own thing. You could have tried to make it work in the facility that you were at. What was inspiring to you about the mission, the vision, the values that led to you being like, you know what, we're going to move across the country for this?
Yeah, I mean, it was a big decision. The one that me and my wife spent a lot of time talking about. That was a long week, but it was good. And we came to the agreement of we believe in the Active Life's vision. We believe in Active Life's mission. We believe in the company as a whole, and I want to be a part of the team.
I love how you used we there. You were able to, it wasn't just a you telling or dictating to her this is the thing. You brought her into the decision, and you guys came to that together.
Yeah. Well, we're a team. And we had to make this decision. We got to make this decision as a team, and we looked forward, 5-10 years in the future. What do we want our lives to look like? And you and I have been through the Enlifted training, and one of the trainings that still come up for me is what if this XYZ? What if this doesn't work out? What are the stories that were going through my head? The story that I learned was to do a game called What If the Good Shit. Mm-hmm. What if this does work out? What if Active Life is exactly what we need? What if moving to Long Beach is the best thing that we ever do for ourselves? And that's the road that we went down.
Wow. So what's it been like since you've been here? How's the family doing? How are they liking Long Beach? I know your wife got a job. She's a teacher. Like, what's that transition for them been like?
We're like a 6-minute walk from the beach, so it's awesome. It's awesome.
That's pretty good.
Literally, we have like a wagon that's packed up with our beach stuff ready to go. 5 minutes, we're there, and dude, the kids love it. Playing in the water. Miranda likes laying at the beach. Yeah, it was an adjustment at first. She's never lived in a big town.
Sure.
But no, we love it. The food is better. There's more stuff to do. We're a train ride away from Madison Square Garden. Want to go downtown. Concerts. There's plays. Like I said, did I mention the food?
The food. The food's the big one. Dude. That was the thing that put you over the edge for moving
I was
here.
close. It was that burger that you got me. Oh God, yeah, it was good.
Shout out to Lost and Found.
Yeah, so good. So yeah, it's been great. Very happy. Hindsight is we made the right choice.
I love that. All right. So what does a day off look like for you? You're around Long Beach. What do you like to do in your free time?
Spend time with the kids. You know, they're only young like this once. My oldest one's going to be 4, youngest one's 2. And I know this stage goes by so fast. So any day that we have free, that we have nothing else on the schedule, I want to be with them as much as we can. And making these memories with them. Like I said, the beach is always fun. Just watching them get knocked down by the waves. It's always funny. Yeah, and just exploring the town, walking on the boardwalk. Yeah, that's it. Enjoying life.
There's a lot to enjoy here. What's something that someone who's listening to this, who doesn't know anything about you, it could be a client, it could be somebody considering making a move to the location that we're opening in Port Washington, what's something that they might be surprised to learn about you?
Ooh, surprised to learn about me. I don't know.
Put you on the spot.
I know. You know how well I do when I get put on the spot. I don't know. I usually go with I used to be a probation officer. That I don't think I give off a law enforcement or pseudo law enforcement vibe. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I have a fish tank. That's my thing. That's my hobby.
Okay, that's new for you, right?
So I had a fish tank back in Angola. I had one growing up, and then I got a 180-gallon freshwater aquarium. Wow. Which is like bigger than a coffin.
I like how we're using coffins as units of measurement.
I mean, you have a good idea mentally of what
yeah,
it's like
huge.
Now.
It's huge.
It was a big coffin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got a saltwater tank out here that I just set up, and I'm getting ready to start building towards like a Finding Nemo style tank.
That's cool. No sharks?
No sharks. I don't think they're legal anymore. Used to be able to.
That tracks.
Yeah.
I can see why you wouldn't be allowed to own a shark.
Yeah. Yeah.
What as we kind of wrap this conversation up, and this has been great. Somebody's listening to this, right? They're 50 years old, maybe a little bit older. You could be referencing your parents with this. What's something that you wish more people in that age had heard, or a piece of wisdom or insight that you wish that they knew in relationship to health and fitness?
The one big one is that you believe that chronic pain is a choice. If you have low back pain, if you've got chronic fatigue, if you have things like that, then there is a way out of it. I mean, my ideal clientele, the people I love to work with, are the people that spent their 20s, 30s, 40s taking care of other people and spent all their time, effort, energy helping kids, helping spouse, building a business, doing all the things, and never took time for themselves. The cool part about watching my parents do what they did is that, you know, at any age, it doesn't matter what you're at or what your experience is, there's still so much progress to be made and so much life to live. And the big thing is that I always encourage people to ask for help. And that's one thing that I really struggle with, is asking for help. But yeah, if you want to change, find somebody that you trust, that you believe can help you, and ask them.
You've gotten much better with asking for help. So give yourself some credit where credit's due.
Yeah, I worked on it.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah, I hear that. On the other side of that, somebody who is considering making a significant move like this, you know, like we talked about Port Washington, next location that we're opening, we're still looking for a location lead and another professional for that team. What's something that you wish someone considering a big move to pursue a career like this as a professional, what's something you wish that they heard?
I would highly encourage people to write down something that you've had me do a few times, is a perfect day scenario of literally visualize what a perfect day looks like for you and start to build it. What I've noticed with what I found with active life is my perfect day, I am getting closer and closer and closer to it. And being a part of a team that understands that and that has you in mind and that has your family in mind, because that's something that you've kept reiterating to me, is that you're willing to babysit so my wife and I can go out on a date night. Just the amount of care that you guys show to your employees is something that I've never seen before. Being part of a team that helps you live the life that you want to live makes things so much easier. Instead of having to build it all by yourself, work with people, work with us.
I appreciate that. Ken, it's been an absolute pleasure for me to have you as part of the team. You've been here almost a year now.
Yeah.
Your impact was immediately noticed when you stepped into the facility, and I shared that with you. Your clients, I have clients who stop me when I'm walking through the facility just to tell me how awesome you are and how much they enjoy working with you and how good of a job you do. You are a key member of this team. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm super excited for the next 3 to 5 years as we continue to build this thing.
Dude, thank you. That's a very big compliment. I appreciate that.
You've earned it.
And thank you for everything that you've done too, man. That's been life-changing coming here, and I do it again in a heartbeat.
Thank you, Ken.
I hope you enjoyed that episode of the Active Life podcast. If you did, please head to wherever you listen and leave us that 5-star rating. It really does go a long way. 5 stars goes a long way. Please leave them. If you're interested in working with us as a coach, remember, we help coaches from around the world build fulfilling careers, working with clients they're inspired to help so they never have to worry about being able to pay your bills again. No one's ever going to ask you if you are going to get a real job when you work with Active Life. All you have to do, head into the show notes, click the link that you find there, download our curriculum. That will give you a feel for what it is going to take for you to be successful. A team member of ours will reach out to you to find out if it's a fit for us to work together. Till the next show, turn pro.